All right, good morning, Terrell here. We have this 20, I believe it's like a 13 STI sedan, and I already did the boost and the AFR and the oil pressure gauge install. This is either going to be a continuation of that video, or this is a second video on its own. So we're doing a new front mount setup. I just want to clean it up and do the correct one for the car. We're doing a new radiator. It's a CSF right there. And then lastly, we're doing a new blow-off valve, or I guess a bypass valve. This new one's gonna be a Perrin. And then just a little extra, we're doing a Perrin intake as well, and then tuning all this in. It's a little better view of this CSF brand new radiator. Nice aluminum. And then the intercooler. And then all the piping's right there. The new intake's there. And then the new bypass valve is really pretty Perrin. All right, this car I've already taken off, or you've watched me install the front mounts, and then I believe you've watched me install the bumper. We're gonna take the bumper off camera real quick, and then time lapse the install of everything new. So next video you see should probably be the bumper off, the radiator out, and then the intercooler out, so it'll just be kind of empty. All right, intercooler is already removed. Working on the radiator now. Just have the lower hose to get the coolant out, upper hose, those two right there. 2 fans, and the radiator's out. Alrighty, radiator is out. Now it's time to start putting things together. Just got the stock bypass valve to remove. Alright, we're starting with removing these fans from this stock radiator. Just a couple 10mm bolts there, there, and there. And then of course that the coolant overflow. And then swapping over to this new CSF. Beautiful aluminum radiator. Hopefully this thing fits and sits well. I'll show you how it looks once it's in. Alrighty, fitment is perfect so far. All the bolts line up with the stock coolant line, and then all the bottoms fit perfectly. So just need to set this inside in a minute. Alrighty, new radiator is in, and it's fat, but the fitment is basically perfect. I'm impressed actually. Nothing's quite tight yet, but it sits very, very well in here. Gonna go ahead and plug these fans in and get these hoses tight, and then I think we're gonna try to use this new radiator cap. I don't know if I'm gonna trust it, but I guess we'll find out if it's good or not. Okay, radiator's in. Installing the intercooler now. I got the bolts to hold this on the front. Show you how this looks in just a minute. All right, well, enjoy this time lapse of us figuring out how this front mount setup goes, and then installing it and piecing this all together. I gotta let my phone cool off a little bit, but I got this side completely tight to the turbo. Gonna work on doing the blow-off valve flange, and then that side is getting tight slowly, but yeah. At least the bottom to the intercooler is tight, and then it's coming up and to the turbo, and then the front mount will be done, and then it'll just be intake and tuning. But I gotta let my phone cool off, so I'll time lapse the rest of this in just a couple minutes when it's cooled off. All right, about to get this Perrin blow-off valve on. In the back here, I have to swap over the stock stuff, so I just broke the bolts loose. They're right here and right there. Swap this piece onto the back of this, so it'll be an actual recirc valve, and then I'm gonna go ahead and install this on the car. Alrighty, this side is getting done. Pipes are on. Almost to the last pipe. I got the blow-off valve on, and everything's tight over here. That's the recirc set currently, and then we just have to put the line on the top of here. And then the intake will be next, and then figure out radiator stays, but she is getting there. She's almost looking complete now. Beautiful wrinkle black setup. Alrighty, intercooler is done. Everything's nice and tight. We have the coolant reservoir set in here. All the lines are on, nice and tight. We'll obviously have to drive this and make sure nothing pops off. But next step is going to get the front bumper back on, and get some radiator stays and the intake. All right, everything is situated, coolant's in, got to bleed in a couple minutes. Next step we're gonna do is put the bumper on, and hopefully she fits without any more trimming. All right, we just found out that it does need to be cut more, unfortunately. I think this is actually a 2015 plus STI setup, but on the bobs you can see it's catching there and there. So we have to trim more of this out on the inside on both sides. All right, I trimmed this piece off. this one, and then one more piece off the side, and now the bumper is sitting on. I'm gonna go and put the bumper ties on, the bolt back in, and clips in the middle, and then this is done. This is to be tuned, do an oil change, and get the coolant to bleed. First start with the whole fresh setup. Gotta get one more radiator to stay on, but she sounds really good. Yeah, love the fitment of this radiator. All the new black piping looks amazing. I got the car driving and went for a cruise, and AFRs are super rich from the old intake. So I am currently changing the mass airflow scaling, and then we're gonna go ahead and drive this again and see where AFRs are. Alrighty, let's check out ROM radar, see how she's running at idle now. Should connect instantly and slowly pulling fuel out, and then it should go down to, I'm gonna assume it would be closer to 0, but we'll know in just a minute. AFRs are slowly getting down to closer to 14.7. Look at that, down to almost 2% correction. AFRs getting closer and closer to 14s. Looking pretty good here. I'm gonna go ahead and drive this thing and see how AFRs are while cruising. All right, we waited till it got darker, and then I just topped the coolant off. We're gonna go ahead and drive this STI a little bit and make sure AFRs are looking good and cruising wise is looking good. And as long as that's taken care of, then this will be ready to go back to the customer. Cruising a little bit. All the gauges look amazing. The STI interior looks nice as well. Beautiful. All right, we've now done a couple pulls. Look at this, absolutely zero knock anywhere, hitting about 18 pounds of boost. Injection duty cycle, let's see, where are we at? We are about 85%. It's a big front mount, so it makes sense. Whoops. Otherwise, everything's looking pretty dang smooth. No hiccups at all.